Welcome back to HUNK-N-JUNK, everybody. Today I'm going to do something really small and quick and simple and easy. I'm going to kind of go over my spot welder a little bit with you. I bought new tips about a week or so ago. And the ones I bought, as you can see, have the pretty long prong sticking off the bottom right there. And I adjusted them out and everything like that and got them as close as I could. But this spot welder don't really like these tips because they're so long and it's hard to adjust it. But now that I've been using it and I've gotten them kind of flattened together, I'm going to go ahead and adjust my rods a little bit more, and I'm going to file them down and kind of show you how to do a little bit of maintenance on your spot welder. Alright, well, welcome back. And as you can see, if you look at this thing head on, they're just not quite lined up. That one isn't quite tight. And I got big old burrs on the sides and everything like that. So I'm going to fix all that, get all this tightened up, get these adjusted to where it'll come together real nice and make a pretty spot weld. First thing I'm going to need to do is go ahead and loosen this all up. Right here. You got 4 little bolts, Allen bolts, right here on the top. Just need to loosen them up. Well, that one. That's why it was a little bit loose. Then once you get that loosened up, your jaw will move and turn. You can pull it out all the way. That's all it is. That's it. And you can put it back in. This is just a clamp that holds that in there. So if you pull it out, don't freak out. It goes back in. So you just wiggle it back in there. Get it right to where your teeth are lined up, to where your points are lined up real good. Hold it in there good and tight. And then just tighten it back down. Now, there's another adjustment that I've already done. And it's really hard to get into this little Allen bolt right here with this wrench. You want to kind of check as you go. Make sure that you're not loosening it back up. Now, you see it's still loose. See that? One thing I've noticed about this one, I've had it for a couple of years. These 2 bolts here wiggle loose over time because they hold your pivot point. It's kind of a weak link in these. But every now and then, you just got to come in here and tighten that up a little bit until I get it to where I just feel a bit of pressure. And I tighten them up every couple days or once a day or something like that. Now I'm tight. See? My points come together. The other adjustment you can do is right here. You can loosen this nut up, loosen that nut up, and this point here will slide back and forth on that threaded rod to get as your points wear down. You'll need to adjust it up here, which I'll show you that later on. As my points wear down, I'll adjust it more and make another video on that real quick. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fix the end of this right here. Go ahead and go ahead and file down my tongs. All right. So I got a file that's way too big. This is how I work. I use tools that's way too big or way too small, one or the other. I never have the right stuff. Matter of fact, now that I'm looking at that head on, them still don't line up perfect. So I need to fix that. Let me loosen all that back up. This one needs adjusted. So to adjust the bottom one, it's the same thing. You got 4 little bolts here on the bottom. And it's exactly like the top one. I'll show you. I'll take it all the way out so you can see. These things are really hard to screw up. One thing that you want to make sure, do not be anywhere near water or any kind of liquid whatsoever. basically you can just, once you loosen them 4 bolts up, you can basically take this one, twist it and turn it. I don't never take these out, but for the sake of science, I'm gonna take it out and show you. It's just a big copper rod, that's all it is. It's bent. So don't worry about if it pulls out or if you start twisting it or whatever, don't worry about it. It's not hooked to anything, it's clamped. Let me loosen them up. It's just a big old brass clamp in there. But you still want all that power going to it, so you want them in there pretty far. So, now, want them at a 90 degree, straight up and straight down. I'm gonna have to push this one in a little bit. Pull this one out. There. Now I've got them pretty well lined up. So first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and tighten these up on the bottom. I'm gonna do it like you do a car tire, corner to corner. That way you're less likely for that to move. Basically all you're doing is tightening a clamp. So you don't need a tremendous amount of pressure or a tremendous amount of power to tighten them up, just a little bit. Now, I got my bottom one where I want it. Let me make sure my top one is. Push that back in there. There. I want them tips to line up just as perfectly as I can get them. And then we'll come right here and start tightening them up. Corner to corner. Once you get 2 of them, double check it. Yep, I'm still good. Tighten that guy up. Tighten that guy up. Now, we're tight. Ready to work almost. Now we just need to file all this down and get us a good working surface. I got a file that's way too big, but I got a big burr on this all the way around, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock that burr off first. Alright, so now what I want to do, I want to get these 2 points right here nice and clean and ready. So I got my little tiny thin keyhole file. You can get a whole kit of these at Harbor Freight for, shoot, $5-6. Man, I've had these for a long time. They work really, really well. But your first instinct is going to be to come in here and start filing them, right? That's what you naturally want to do. That's not really the way that you want to do these. My good friend Dennis Sullivan, a lot of you know him. He's unfortunately passed away last year. He made a lot of really cool toys and the beds and everything else, and he told me to do it this way. You put your file in between the tongs, put just a little bit of pressure on it, and instead of filing it back and forth like you would normally file it, you turn it back and forth like this. Keep pressure on it, hold them down, and just keep working that back and forth. Basically what you're doing there is you're getting both of them points lined up. You're filing both of them points together at the same angle, so that whenever you're done, they should come together. The entire point should touch. So when you put your metal in there, you'll get a nice, clean, real nice, clean, pretty spot weld. Now your file will come out like this. Boop. Now I can look in there. Let me show you best I can here. You can look in here. I still got some black. That means that if I spot welder with that now, this black part would not do any work. Same thing up here, I got some black. Oh, I can't get it up there to show you. I still got some black on the tip of my point, so I need to file it just a little bit more. It gotta work. Let me file off my burr. You're always going to end up with a burr when you clean them up. Best thing I have found to do with your spot welder is to clean them points regularly. The cleaner them points are, the cleaner that contact right there is, the better your work will come out, and it'll require less work to fix it. Because you got to fix every spot weld, every one of them. So there you have it. We're ready to go back to work. My points are copper. They're nice and clean. I got a little bit of black on that one still. Probably that was pretty far down. So after probably the first or second spot weld, it'll get back down. It'll get down to normal. But yeah, she's ready to rock and roll. Alright, so we got our tips all nice and clean and adjusted and all that good jazz. Let's see how they work. I'm making a bed for a friend of mine. So we'll come in here with my little handy dandy spot welder. How's that one look? Yeah, it looks pretty good. It ain't perfect, but it looks all right. Those tips are still just a little bit long, so it might take them a couple of times to come in. There we go. Coming in nice and pretty now. Get there. Well, let's go on down the line here. I'll take those out. Got my cord over here knocking everything off. There's some good looking spot welds there. They won't take much at all to clean those up. The cleaner your points are on your spot welder, the better your metal will look when you're done. So you always want to keep them clean. Don't touch them right now. They're really, really hot. I've learned that lesson the hard way. But keep them nice and flat. Keep the burr sanded off the outside. I got those on eBay. I'll post a link in the description to show you where to get some of them. They just got that longer point on them, which getting in these tight places in these little toys makes it a lot easier. The ones that come on that thing are just like a little funnel, and sometimes it's really hard to get in them tight spaces with them, especially when you're making stuff like this. So I like these. They're made in the USA, of course, and most everything I get, I try to get in the USA. But anyway, if you like the video, you like stuff like this, give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share and tell your friends. And keep on a hunking, keep on a junking. Y'all have a great day.